Hi guys, another episode where I look at bots. It's been a while since I've done it, been a bit busy doing other things, and let's take a look at what we've got going now. I'll try and keep it short. So, obviously through December and January, prices plunged. Some positions I got out of in time, and others I decided to hang on and sort of have gone backwards. So I am hanging on. I've taken the bots out for the moment. I just got a bunch of stuff. Like Veracity and a few others that I didn't get out of in time, and now I just can't bring myself to sell out of. So I don't have a huge amount of bots running at the moment because I do have some money locked up in altcoins that plunged too much. Bots aren't miracle workers. If you've got a market that goes all the way down and you having things losing 60, 70, 80% of their value at the time, if you don't get out soon enough, then you're just like everyone else who's losing 80% of the value. The bots can't keep up with that. Veracity, for instance, I kept holding, thinking it was going to turn around because I was so far ahead, like I had an extra $1,000 in cash from the bot, that it could lose quite a whack of money from its original purchase price, and I'd still be in profit. But took my eye off the ball. And so that's one particular little altcoin that's a long way off profitability at the moment. I'll just hang on to it for a bit because my long-term point of view of crypto, as is yours, I'm sure, is that it's going to go up. So wanting to still try and get maximum returns out of bots with the market sort of bubbling along on the bottom, occasionally having drops. Bitcoin was in the sort of high 30s, low 40s, gets up to mid 40s, all that kind of stuff. I started looking at the leveraged coins. You can see there's sort of 4 of them in here. Now the only ones, for clarity, the only ones I'm actually holding with cash on them at the moment is the ETH and the NEAR. I got into NEAR again, and then there was another drop. I didn't get out. Hadn't been in it very long. It's only generated like $109. So again, that's only 16% off, going back into a sort of bot range. So I'm hanging on to that. And ETH. So I had NEAR 3L. Sorry, Luna 3L, and I'll go into what the threes mean in just a second. And then Russia invaded Ukraine, and it wicked right down. And I had, for the first time ever, put in a stop loss because I was sick of things going down too much out of my and leverage coins do this. So it wicked down, triggered the stop loss, and then immediately bounced straight back up again, and I was taken out of the position. It had been going absolutely fantastic for me, the Luna 3L, and I couldn't. By the time I got back onto a computer, it had gone miles away, and I was like, I'm not going to sell out here and buy straight back into it down up here. So, and that is the problem with trying to time the market. So I learnt my lesson on stop losses. You've got to maybe push them even further down to avoid getting automatically bumped out on these big wicks. So I took the money that I'd made from that because it was in profit, and I stuck it into Ethereum 3 long. So what does this mean? The 3 means it's 3 times leverage, which means it's designed that it will, so in this case it's against Ethereum. If Ethereum goes up $10, this should go up 3 times that sort of amount. So if Ethereum goes up 1%, this should go up 3%, that kind of concept. It's leveraged 3 times to do it. But it also means if Ethereum goes down 3, it goes down 1%, this thing goes down 3%, and so on and so forth. But the thing about me getting into these is I want wiggle, right? Let's have, we look at the chart here, and is it going to do it for me? Come on, chart. We want the wiggle, right? And all these things in the top 10, top 20, like Solana and Ethereum and NEAR's like 21 or something. They don't wiggle all that much, so you sort of go, okay, I'll put a hodl bot on that kind of thing. But that's just sort of holding, and I want the cash at the moment. That's the sort of phase I'm in. I want the cash. So this is a way of being able to go, right, well, Solana's not going to go to 0 at the moment. Ethereum's not going to go to 0 now or in the near future. Whereas something like Veracity, which is in the gaming space, is an altcoin. The whole thing could go to 0. It could be a rug pull. Solana's not going to do that. Ethereum's not going to do that. So, but they don't wiggle that much. So if you do the 3 times leverage on it, then you can start getting a much better percentage kind of thing. So Ethereum's doing 2.5% a day. Solana is 1.5%. I'm not in Solana. This is demo mode at the moment. See, I've only been in it for a day, and the shorter time you're in it, the more chance you have of going red. Literally, this one's already is only $206. Oh, sorry, not that one. Let's look at Ethereum. Like 6 days, $300, right? So it's earning basically $50 a day, or more like 40 something dollars a day, on what was only a $2,000 investment, or slightly under $2,000. So it's coming out 2.5% a day. Now, if I had to just invested straight into Ethereum, I'd be getting nowhere near that. So it's riskier, but it also wiggles more. But I have no fear that the Ethereum itself is going to plunge that low. So, whereas something like NEAR, it's like the actual coin. This token, the NEAR 3L token, could in fact plunge to zero if NEAR loses enough of its own value, kind of thing. Like if NEAR loses 90% of its value, as the actual coin, then this leveraged 3 times is going to plummet all the way 3 times past that, and it's going to go to zero. I don't ever see that. I don't see that happening with the top teners. So this is sort of a way to get into the top tens and get wiggle, is by doing this. Now, it's not financial advice. I'm just testing this out. I could get completely burnt on this. It's just my explanation of advantages of it, but the disadvantage is everything that happens at greater speed up, greater speed down. You can get seriously burnt dealing with leverage. So I also had to mess around with the steps on this, and I tended to find that most of the grid lines are sort of more like 1.2, 1.5% apart. Somewhere in there, you do a bit of testing, a bit of back test, and just mess around with those. And I've tended to find 1.2 to 1.5% difference in the grid lines is kind of the sweet spot. There you go. But I haven't done too many experiments on this. I just wanted to get this out there for anyone who's interested. So there you go. Leverage longs. Oh, the other thing, of course, is 3L, the L versus the S. They call other things on other platforms, but KuCoin calls them long and short. Well, that's what it stands for, going long or going short. So this is also guessing the market more. Do you believe this coin's going to go up in the long run? Then you go long on it. If you think it's going to go down in the short term, then you go short on it. And what you're betting on is literally betting that you've picked the market correctly, and that in the short term, if the prices are going to go down, you'll make more money if you're doing on a 3S. But I'm like happy to hold it longer. I believe in the longer term, whether it be weeks and months or years, that Solana is only going to go up in the long term, that Ethereum will only go up in the long term, that NEAR will only go up in the long term, and so I can go 3 long on that, and in the meantime, get the wiggle. So there you go. That's something about the leveraging. Not a professional at this, not financial advice, but if you like this, click the like, click subscribe, all that kind of stuff. So there you go. Hope you enjoyed it. See ya.